Okay, so it is officially the last day of this year, 31st of December 2025, and I want to go some changes that I've made since the last video. So the first one is creating profiles for every new user. Now, the way the database is designed is that every time a new user joins or signs up for the application, uh, an email is sent to verify the email address to make sure that they own the email ID. And after the email is confirmed, they are allocated a profile where they'll contain other metadata about them. Now, the the standard way that you would try to approach this would be to create some sort of an edge function where the moment the user's email is verified, you create a profile. But me being me, uh, basically I'm calling myself lazy. I wasn't bothered to do that because it kind of required a little bit of more effort compared to what I did over here. So what I've done is basically add a piece of metadata every time a new user signs up that has one boolean value which says whether the user has an active profile or not. So the way it works is I sign up a new account, I create a new account, and then a boolean value is created for me as a metadata that says profile available, which is false, and then the email verification is sent to me. I click on the email verification, which redirects me to the sign in page, and on my first instance of sign in, what the program does is it checks for that metadata, and if it's false, and then only it'll create a row in the database. If it's true, it wouldn't do anything, and also when it's false, it'll obviously write the database. It'll create the database row, and it'll switch the boolean value back to true again, just so that it doesn't keep on doing it or overwriting it, which is unnecessary use of computation here. So that's one thing I've done over there. And then the second part is a bit of an interesting one, is querying for courses. Now, the entire idea of the app itself is to basically sort of join these subreddit like structured courses. Let's say I have a course called Algorithms and Analysis, I have a course called Software Engineering Process. Now, looking up these courses, obviously there's a massive list of courses. You don't want to sort of query, so you want to have some sort of an efficient querying system where when you type in something, it efficiently looks for what is similar and it fetches it back. Now, the way I've done it over here is by having a state and monitoring the state's change. So every time state changes, obviously we try to fetch the query, and we're using what is called an is-like statement, I-like statement, which what basically does is fetches anything that matches some sort of similarity. For example, let's say I want to join artificial intelligence, I would sort of fetch for anything that has the word artificial intelligence, so ART. Now, the problem with this is that when you try to use use effect and states, every keystroke is monitored. Therefore, for every keystroke you type in, there's a database query made, which is very ineffective and obviously a waste of resources. So what I've sort of done here is have this sort of time duration where if there's consistent typing, then do not start a timer. And the moment I stop my keystroke typing, and there is a 350 millisecond gap between the last keystroke and the next possible keystroke, then it would sort of query. Now this way, we sort of like make the program fit to an average user, where usually you try to quickly type something up and then you pause for a moment, and during that pause it'll do a fetch. So this is very efficient in terms of making queries to the database and calling API, making API requests. So that's one thing I've done. And oh yeah, this is pretty much a simple button that just adds the post, creates a post ID. So that's nothing complicated. That's pretty much it for this video.